Bonjour, my friends! Here we are in maybe my favorite part of Paris, the Latin Quarter, a place steeped in centuries of history and culture. For those of you who are finding us for the very first time, my name is Heidi Daus, and I'm a jewelry designer who loves travel and am influenced by just about everything in the City of Light. I'm honored to guide you through a captivating journey back in time. As we wander through these ancient streets, you can't help but feel the weight of history all around us. From its medieval origins, this area was the center of learning in France and Europe. The Sorbonne, or the University of Paris, is located right here. Founded in 1253, it is said the reason why it is called the Latin Quarter is because the students were only allowed to speak Latin when they were in this neighborhood. I'm honored to guide you through a captivating journey back in time.
It was made at a time when the carriage and the horses are going in as well. So that's why they're so massive. You always have a door that is one for people inside, but those are big enough for the carriage. So here on the side you have something to tie the horses. You let the horse outside, to just like a single area. Or here, you can also scratch your shoes to get in. And that's very useful because here you have to imagine it was not that clean. Yeah. It was very muddy and very filthy. This was very even if it's not in use anymore. So I find that to get huge. Yeah. And also the other thing that you have very often in those buildings is those to protect the walls. I don't have it on the other side, but from the carriage, from the metal wheels when they enter, so that they won't scratch the wall directly, but this metal. So that's something we can see a lot.
That's interesting.
Q is here as a mascot for all the students that are in La Sorbonne, because if you come here with the wish to pass your exam, just come here and say "Je vous salue, Montaigne," just rubbing the shoe like this. And if he's, kind enough, he will,
Oh my gosh, I love that!
So it's kind of a magical statue. And sometimes the students, they are playing with him, like putting a hat or a wig, or doing his nails, or lipstick on. So just, it's kind of a little toy. Also. But
That's
Montaigne,
wonderful.
Yeah,
I think we should rub her.
yeah, you never know. And he's a great philosopher. Montaigne is a great French philosopher. And so it's
Wow.
it's just in front of Cluny.
Oui.
So that it's a beautiful Middle Ages museum. You've been here. It's still today, for me, one of the most magnificent museums.
It is.
Pardon, pas de problème. Because people, they know the Louvre, they know Musée d'Orsay, they don't really come here.
No.
But here it's visiting a castle, visiting also the Roman therms that are just on the side. So you have Roman bath from the 3rd century. So to be just like, it's impressive to see that.
It is.
But you can see well the two towers here, and when the fire happened, one of the towers was in a big danger. So lucky for us, it's still here. Yeah, because the bells are also here.
Yeah.
So with the weight. Of the bells. What is interesting when I see this huge structure is when I also look at the other church that is on the other side.
Yes.
Because they were built at the same time.
They were?
Yeah, and this is the oldest church of Paris, Saint-Julien-le-Pauvre. Maybe we can have a look at the 12th century, so we know it's around 1130. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long.
That is just, for us, it's so stunning,
Yeah, it is, even for us,
Yeah.
Another church that is from the same time. This, as you can see, so it was a mix of the 12th century and then the 16th century, and then we also built something from the 18th. So it's really just a mashup of different layers of architecture and history. But it is very beautiful. And at the time, you had a cemetery at the side of each churches, and the cemetery is still here. It's pretty cute.
Wow.
It doesn't look as, gloomy as a cemetery will be, but this used to be one, and they wanted to keep it as a little garden. So we call it le charnier because the cemetery is the basic one, and the people are underground. But after that, we just, take all the dry bones and just stock them here. But what happened in Paris is all the cemeteries were closed because we were finding that not very healthy. to have here the body. So all the cemeteries of Paris closed, and we removed the remains into the catacombs. So now people, they enjoy going to the catacombs. It's it's just another, another way of seeing
very cool. Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was one of the tiniest bookshop in Paris. It's called the Abbey Bookshop, and most of the books here are in English. And the owner is just right there. I think so. We'll see. It's Canadian.
Oui.
But I don't know. This one is a bit more Latin Quarter.
Yes.
So I like it very much.
That's about the coolest bookstore I've ever been in.
Symbol of a pilgrimage. It's a pilgrimage going all the way to Spain.
Oh!
It's called Saint-Jacques, St. James. Also in Spanish we say El Camino. And so you can go from France to Spain by walking.
Yes.
And at the end of it, you will find the tomb of Saint-Jacques. And as you can see, this is to help you.
Wow! Find your way.
Exactly.
Wow!
It was an abbey, and it was for monks to live here. And maybe you will notice that there is above the window, there's little shells. You see those?
Yes.
That's the same shell that we saw on the floor. The one that is leading us to St. James. And that's why when you're eating a scallop,
right?
French,
Yes.
It's Saint-Jacques, the Noix de Saint-Jacques. On the menu.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the Noix de Saint-Jacques here.
Oh my goodness.
They wanted the same system as in Rome, so you had different rooms. So one for like a hammam, really just to sweat and to be clean, and then a gymnasium, then the cold water, and to just also make your muscle even stronger. You also had the garden on the top.
Wow.
And all around here, you also had shops. So you could come here not only for exercising, but also to buy beautiful little items, pottery or jewelry, or clothes.
I would have set up my shop right here.
And eventually going to the swimming pool when it's too hot.
That's right. I heard the swimming pool was huge. Was it here?
Yeah. It was here. And like I say, you had different temperature swimming pools as well. But yeah, you had one big one that was for exercising.
That's crazy.
So start with La Sorbonne. So La Sorbonne is the oldest university in Europe, older than Oxford.
Wow.
So it's really it's an institution. It was started in 1253, and with La Sorbonne started, of course, everyone is following. And you had the scientific coming here. Then you had this building. This is Collège de France. I will tell you more in an instant. But first, there is this statue that I like very much. Is Dante. You know the poet, the Italian poet Dante. He studied here in Paris.
Yeah, I never knew that.
When he was young, he came here in Paris. He was from Italy, so he was talking Latin, to connect with the French. And apparently Notre Dame inspired him of when he was writing the Inferno. You know, this La Commedia.
Dante's, yeah. Wow.
So that's why we have a beautiful statue of him just right here. So it's in between La Sorbonne and Collège de France.
Oui.
It's a university for everyone at every age. There is no limit. You don't even need to have a scholarship or a year of I don't know. You just go. Like imagine today they are making something very precise about brain cells, for example, okay? And you really want to go to follow the class about that for 2 or 3 hours.
Yes.
It's okay. You just go in. It's free. You go in. You just show your identity card.
Wow.
And that's it. You can.
That is really something. So, really, literally anybody could, if you're of age and have your card.
Look at that. The door is open.
Wow.
Here. And we could go and follow any class here. And of course, the classes are made by the most beautiful expert on the question. So you could be an expert on, I don't know, a dead language, about jewelry, about, I don't know, anything.
Anything.
And you have to be invited here as a teacher just for the day or 2 days. And they are coming from all over the world.
Wow.
So a lot of classes are made in English.
Look at that beauty. That's beautiful.
So how well do you remember the movie?
Very.
The Midnight.
Where he would wait for midnight to come. Is that up here?
Just right here.
Oh,
going to show you the stairs. There's just a little something also you need to learn about. You see this mosaic?
Yes.
Okay, so this is part of thousands of mosaics that are spread around Paris, made by an artist, a street artist that is called himself the Invader. And the Invader is invading the city of Paris with mosaics. So this one here is representing Sainte Geneviève because there is a kind of the holy.
Yeah, like a globe. Yeah.
But every time there's those tiny monsters that aliens, and I don't know if you remember, but in the 80s you had a game, Space Invader, where you could shoot little aliens. That is coming from that. That is coming from this game. You have also Pac-Man or Mario around Paris. There is even an app. So you can flash them, and so it's making points. So people, Parisian, they're coming, they're flashing it, getting points, and having a little competition between friends.
That's fun.
That's really cute. These are the stairs for Wilson to sit during the movies. Which is right here. The first night they arrive through here, and then here, and she's leaving for a hotel. And so here, at one point, the car will arrive here and stopping to bring him back into the 20s.
I love that movie. That's so great.
This specific spot, because we are in the Latin Quarter, and because we're really in between Hemingway, James Joyce, Fitzgerald, Gertrude Stein. It's really this area that is in between. So we wanted to follow that to the 20s. So that's why we're going to go.
That's very cool.
Here, it's looking like a church, and underneath you have a lot of graves from the most important persons. For a long time was the most important men, but now we have more and more women. We have Josephine Baker.
Yes, I heard she was.
Now.
Yes.
Simone Weil also. So more and more women are buried there now. But for a long time it was the famous writers Voltaire, Rousseau, Victor Hugo, Dumas, Zola. So they were all here for the greatness of their work.
Yes.
And just nearby, you have the beautiful church, and we're gonna go inside.
Oh, yay!
This church is very important for this lady. That's the patron saint of Paris. She's called Geneviève. And Geneviève, whenever something is happening in Paris, people are praying for her to say. For example, Notre Dame. Of course, people were praying Notre Dame directly, the Virgin Mary, but they were also praying to Geneviève because she's here. In case something, is troubling in Paris, she will save us. And she is, but we're talking about the Roman time, and she's coming just after that. So she's from the 5th and the 6th century. That's for Geneviève. And her grave is in this church.
Oh!
So that's why it's so important.
Look at this staircase.
So now this church is called Saint Stephen of the Mont, but it's known, like I say, more for Saint Geneviève. What happened here is we have a church that is very tall and very, you see, it's not wall here, it's only light coming in. So that's very impressive for a church. They also let one of the pieces that is here, this is called a jubé, you see in the middle. This was meant to separate the three types of people at the time, which are clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. And the commoners were here, and the clergy was on the other side, and the nobility was up there into the balconies. So we can go to see that in detail because the carving work is extremely precise and beautiful. It's limestone, like most of the. You have again the shell on the right, on the bottom right. You have still Saint-Jacques with the SG for Saint James in English and Saint-Jacques in French. So again, we have it here. Just, if you continue the
keep walking.
You're gonna go. At one point, you're gonna go to Spain. And,
wow.
Layers of history here. You had a parish, it was during the time of Geneviève, but this actual church, you see, it's from 1817 to 1626. But before that, you already had the church. In the church, you also had a convent just right here. And the church, the Pantheon, the church, was dedicated to Geneviève. So she had this huge place to be celebrated. But then we changed that during the Revolution, and now that's why she's here. In a more modest, let's say, place, but I think this one is much more charming than the Pantheon, so I think she's good here. you can see with the candle, and with little notes, and we're putting some messages here into this grave, so that wishing that Genevieve will help them. To tell you completely and honestly the truth, the body of Saint Genevieve is not there anymore. That's a real tomb, but she was moved away during the French Revolution, like many of the kings, queens, saints. They were removed from their grave because people didn't want it at the time to worship them in a special way. They were put in graves with anyone. So here we don't have a body, but there is just one little piece here that is a relic. I just love how it looks like, you know, in Snow White.
Yeah.
She has like a glass coffin, and it looks fountain.
Yes, it does. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Wow.
Same thing for the stained glasses. Some were removed and, you know, just changed into a bit more modern one. So you have different styles. Artistic. And there is one that I like in particular.
Yeah?
I will show you. So here you see how other.
Wow.
One that I love is this one, because this is Noah's Ark, and there is a unicorn.
Yes.
There is a unicorn in this one. So it's funny because some legends say that why we don't have
A unicorn
here. It's because they missed the boat. You know? This one, it's like they never missed the boat.
No.
So maybe unicorns are real now.
That's,
you know?
there you go. And how old is this glass?
So those are also from the time. You see here, they say here, premier quart of the 17th, so 1620 when the church was finished.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And you remember the alchemy I was telling you?
Yes.
Here, there's also a little reference to the alchemy, because you see Jesus is in water that is being boiled by a fire.
Right.
And those are symbols that you find into the alchemy, because there is always this recipe of like how to change the stone into gold.
Right.
And so they're giving you like little, you know,
Well,
there.
isn't that interesting?
But for that, you need to be, you know, introduced to the mystery of the alchemy.
Sure.
By a master.
Wow.
I found. Decided to made it that way, so that's why we have statues there that look like in Italian garden you always have those magnificent statues,
Right.
a lot of flowers, fountains. Water is so important, and so she was living here. Then we changed it into what it is now. It's the Senate, so it's the French senators that are having their offices here. Pretty nice, huh? They're really in the best spot.
No kidding.
And the garden here it's a public garden, so it's for everyone. But of course, it's much appreciated by the families because, for example, in the middle here, in the summertime, the kids can play with boats.
Yes.
You have also ponies rides. You have tennis courts. So many activities for the kids. And there is also for couples, there is also the most magnificent fountain that is just right there.
Wow. Wait until you see this one.
I will show you that.
Now, do I also understand that when she created the garden, all of these are women?
Exactly. Let's have a look. Because you're right. It's not very common to have statues of women and women in power, so queens. In this case, there is even Genevieve. The one
there
that
she
we
is.
saw, in the former church. So she's here, but the rest of the statues around, they are queens of France. And you're right, it was for to put them more in France, because we have so many statues of men around Paris.
Yes,
so it was
right.
a good place for that. So you see a queen over there, one here. Because it's romanticism at every point.
Yes, it is just. Do you see the ivy? Look at the beautiful, beautiful ivy. Oh my God. Oh, it's just amazing.
And when it's the season, you have a couple of ducks also coming here.
Yeah.
You have the tiny ducklings. So cute. I just love it.
You are so lucky to live here.
I know.
You really are.
I know. I'm lucky to be here.
It's
and I
so-
don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
You know? And
I mean, I think we
most of
can.
the Parisians do.
I
so.
think all Meg and Ashley and I can see that passion in your
Oh.
your
But
eyes.
that's because I'm also getting that, you know, from you guys. From
Yeah.
the people coming here.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to show my city.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you know, maybe this would be a perfect time to what's your last name?
Oh, Segura.
Wow.
Segura.
Segura.
Segura. Yeah,
Segura.
that's good.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I would love to introduce our Marie,
Yeah.
who has been so wonderful. She owns a business called My Private Paris, and she gives incredible tours, and she has an unbelievable staff that will also oblige and bring you to the most incredible places that you would not find as an American coming to Paris by yourself. So please look her up. It's My Private Paris.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. We made some videos on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Facebook, obviously. So
Yeah,
I'd be happy
great.
to welcome.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she's awesome. We really learned some really cool things. Okay, so you never know. Hopefully something fabulous will happen from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.